Good morning, everybody. All right, what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at those, I believe, 6 homework problems and see how it goes. All right, so all of these we were using trig identities to find the value of the other trig ratios and not just using x squared plus y squared equals r squared. It is good to be able to do this both ways. So with this first one, if they give me cosine, I'm immediately going to look for sine. I'm going to say sine theta is equal to plus or minus square root of 1 minus cosine squared theta. All right, I can move this along pretty quickly and say, well, sine squared theta is equal to plus or minus square root of 1 minus, 3/5 squared is going to be 9/25. We know that 1 is going to be 25/25. And so therefore, we're going to get 16/25. And the square root of that is 4/5. Now with that, we just got to go back to go, wait, it says in quadrant 1, so it's only positive, it's not negative. And you could just work your way down the list. You know that sine theta is 4/5. You know that cosine theta is 3/5. You know that tangent theta is sine theta over cosine theta, so it's just 4/3. Cotangent theta, we're going to flip this, we get 3/4. Secant theta, we're going to flip that, we get 5/3. And cosecant theta is going to be 5/4. And it's that easy. So hopefully these were pretty easy for you to do and you're able to move right along. Okay, the next one. It says, number 29 says sine theta is 1/3, but this is in quadrant 2, so therefore we know that x is negative. So the first thing we do when we find cosine, we know it's going to be a negative value. So I say cosine theta is equal to negative square root of 1 minus 1/3 squared is going to be 1/9. We know that 1 is the same thing as 9/9, so then we subtract 1/9 and we're going to get 8/9. So we get negative square root of 8/9. Now I can square root the bottom and get a 3. And so that's what it is. Now, you could also simplify this and get negative 2 times the square root of 2 over 3. I'm okay with either answer right now. In the future, I'll definitely want to go, hey, let's simplify this as much as we can and get here. But right now, we're okay. Okay, so then I go down my list and say, well, sine theta is 1/3. Cosine theta is negative square root of 8 over 3. Tangent theta is sine theta over cosine theta. So that's going to be negative 1 over square root of 8. Cotangent theta is going to be the reciprocal of that, which is just going to be negative square root of 8. Secant theta is going to be the reciprocal of that, which is going to be negative 3 over the square root of 8. And lastly, cosecant theta will be 3. And hopefully you were able to move through these problems just about this quickly. That would be my goal. Okay, next, we're given sine theta. We're told quadrant 3. We know everything is negative in quadrant 3. So therefore, of course, x is negative. So I say, all right, cosine theta is equal to negative square root of 1 minus, and we have to square this value. This is negative 4/5, and that's going to give us 16/25. We know that 1 is 25/25, and when we subtract, we get 9/25. We know the square root of both of those is 3/5. So I go down the list and say, well, sine theta was negative 4/5. Cosine theta is negative 3/5. Tangent theta is, the negatives cancel out, and you just get 4/3. Cotangent theta is equal to 3/4. Secant theta is equal to negative 5 over 3. And cosecant theta is equal to negative 5 over 4. Okay, these are this easy. All right, let's keep rolling. Number 33, it's in quadrant 1, so we know everything is positive. So we kind of just don't even have to think about that part. Just go, well, it's all positive. So I know that sine theta is equal to the square root of 1 minus cosine squared theta, which in this case is going to be 1 minus 3/4, because you square the square root of 3 and you get 3. You square the 2 and you get 4. So that's going to be equal to, you know that 1 is 4/4. So when you have 4/4 minus 3/4, you get 1/4. The square root of 1 is 1. The square root of 4 is 2. Okay? So therefore, I say sine theta is equal to 1/2. Cosine theta is equal to square root of 3 over 2. Tangent theta, we just look up, 1 over square root of 3. Cotangent theta is equal to square root of 3. Secant theta is equal to 2 over square root of 3. And cosecant theta is equal to 2. All right, and one more to go. These are all really basic, and hopefully by the time you got to this point, it was pretty easy all the way across the board. So I'd say, well, in quadrant 2, x is negative. And I'm looking for cosine theta, so I know it's going to be negative. Cosine theta is going to be negative square root of 1 minus sine squared theta. So it's going to be negative square root of 1 minus. I'm going to square that. 1 times 1 is 1. Square root of 5 times square root of 5 is 5. We know that 1 is 5/5. So when you subtract 1/5, you get 4/5. You do know the square root of the top, so you know that that's a 2 over the square root of 5. Like I said, sometimes in this book they'll rationalize the denominator, and other times they won't. Here's a time where they chose not to. And so now I go down the list and say sine theta is equal to 1 over square root of 5. Cosine theta is equal to negative 2 over square root of 5. Tangent theta is equal to negative 1/2. Cotangent theta is equal to negative 2. Secant theta is equal to negative square root of 5 over 2. And lastly, cosecant theta is equal to square root of 5. All right. I think those are pretty straightforward. I'm hoping that at this point you're moving through these quick enough that you're just as fast this way as you are with x squared, y squared, and r squared. We're going to take a look at the other two Pythagorean identities in just a minute. But right now, we'll be done with this video.